me alive, I'm getting high with my 4-5. Cops on these suckers trying to die, even as a youngster. Crossing ruckus on the back of the bus. I was a fool all through high school, kicking up dust. But now I'm labeled as a troublemaker. Who can you blame? Smoking weed up, we take away the pain. So I'm hopeless, rolling down the freeway, swerving. Don't worry, I'm about to crash upon the curb, cause my business bloody, baby. If they try to understand me, what should I do? I had to feed my fucking family. What else could I do but be a thug? I'm slanging with the homies, fuck hanging with them phonies in the club. Got my mind on danger, never been a stranger to homicide. My city's full of gangbangers and drive-bys. Why do we die at an early age? He was so young, but still a victim of 12 gauge. My memories of a corpse, mind full of sick thoughts, and I ain't going back to court. So fuck what you thought. I'm drinking Hennessy, running from my enemies. When I live a beat 23, there's so much pain.
Constitution can slip away from you very quickly. And the greatest example going on right now before our very eyes is Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which they're just disappearing with a magic wand, as if it doesn't exist, even though it could not be clearer what it's stating. And so, they want to kick it to Congress. So it's going to be up to us on January 6, 2020. What can be put into the Constitution can slip away from you very quickly. And the greatest example going on right now before our very eyes is Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which they're just disappearing with a magic wand, as if it doesn't exist, even though it could not be clearer what it's stating. And so, they want to kick it to Congress. So it's going to be up to us on January 6, 2025 to tell the rampaging Trump mobs that he's disqualified. And then we need bodyguards for everybody in Civil War conditions, all because the 9 justices, not all of them, but these justices who have not many cases to look at every year, not that much work to do, a huge staff, great protection, simply do not want to do their job and interpret what the great 14th Amendment means. And I'm glad that Sherilyn's creating her new center so we can bring that.
Hey, everybody, welcome in. Good to see everyone. Hope everyone has had a good weekend and a good Monday. Sorry about last night. I wasn't feeling well, so I had to cancel the show, but I am feeling much better tonight. Yeah, what do you guys think about that? Let's welcome in Gravel, guys. Hey, Gravel, how are you?
Everyone.
Nico's supposed to come in as well. Oh, no.
Yeah, I missed you last night. I didn't even know you didn't go on last night. My kids had youth group. So
yeah,
last night. So church youth group.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, church comes before anything, family before anything. Absolutely, that's the way it should be. So I gather from this that they are simply saying pretty much no matter what, even if the American people vote for Trump and he wins, they're not going to allow it or try. And as you stated, we were talking in the live earlier, who would make that decision to either certify or not certify that?
Well, okay, so the VP certifies the election, like Pence did in 2020. They certify the electoral vote. So this is where
it gets murky. This is where it gets messed the hell up. Guess who would be the one that would have to do it?
Exactly. As of now,
Kamala Harris.
It's Kamala. So let's assume Trump's going to win, which we all know he is.
Right.
But she is the opposing candidate. So she has to, in turn, certify an election that she lost or she's going to lose. And this is where it's gonna get messy.
This is
I wish I could predict the future, but I don't have an answer.
Well, some say the Project Looking Glass is fixing to take place on August 8th. I saw some stuff and read about it today. I was intrigued by it. And some say that Project Looking Glass, go look at it, is a government psyop type situation. They believe if they get enough people to instill fear, like if a huge catastrophic event takes place, they can get enough people to manifest mentally a time jump. They do. They believe that this is possible, that you get enough people with fear within them that they could make a time jump. Now, I'm not lying. Look it up. There's they're saying that this is supposed to take place August 8th. Not sure why August 8th, but that's what's being said. But yeah, Kamala Harris, I wish I could jump back in time, go for it. I mean, I wish we could see the future in some ways, in some instances, because this election is what will change everything in everyone's lives and everyone's path. Period. It will be life changing. It's a scary situation we're in. And then today we had the stock market crashed. Let's watch a video on it.
Some would call history in the making.
Scary.
Don't say that.
We have never been down 1,000 points ever, not even intraday on the NASDAQ.
Is that true?
That is true.
Okay. Down 6% right from the get-go. This is heavy big tech. Here we go. Look at them go down. Microsoft is down $20. That's 5%. Alphabet, 5%. Meta, 6%. Amazon, 6%. Apple, 9% down. Let's pull out Apple. This is interesting. A question for you.
Now, recently, a few weeks back, Nancy Pelosi sold a shit ton of Tesla stock and some other stock. Just the day before yesterday, Apple pulled and sold a bunch of Apple stock. Wonder why that was. I think there's some insider trading going on here. They sure did. They sold a shit ton of it. I mean,
Yeah, and there's typically about 20 economic indicators that we're headed towards a recession. Unemployment, jobs, I'll just name a few. GDP, stock market, there's a lot of variables. The economy is very tough to digest or to understand, but inflation, interest rates, all of it. But when that jobs report came out, it's kind of like the icing on the cake. I don't know how else to put it, but
did they add 114,000 or was it 204,000 or something of jobs miraculously that there was not?
It was 114. The prediction was, but the prediction was 175,000.
Okay.
But simultaneously, the unemployment rate went up to 4.3%. Inflation is pretty much stagnant, and the interest rates remain the same, 7.5%. And a lot, if you have a chance to study the markets, a lot of this went into the bonds. What concerns me, though, is that the global economy, that's what's actually, everything is going down.
Everything's taking everywhere. The global, that's what I'm saying. It's not just here. And I mean, when 9/11 happened, this didn't even happen.
Right. Yeah.
That you got to think about that. I was thinking about that earlier. Even when 9/11 happened, and I knew, after that happened, everybody, it was like a week, wasn't it there, that it was completely, that we had no trading at all for a solid week. Or at least there was no number. We couldn't keep up with it. I don't know. I don't even know how that worked. But at the same time, that's when the Pentagon had just recently lost trillions of dollars. Then 9/11 happened. Now, here's the NASDAQ plummeting. Just completely plummeting. Will it go up tomorrow? Is it going to continue going down? What happens if this continues? We go into a recession. It's that simple. And I've had so many Democrats tell me, "Oh, life is so good. It's been so good with Biden in office." Why do you think it's went down? Is the question.
Anytime I hear that, when they're like, oh, my 401k is doing great, one, they probably don't know what a 401k is, and two, they probably don't have one. They're just saying statements. You know,
Right.
it's I can tell you because I have 401k. Mine's doing all right, but I'm pretty well diversified because that video you just showed, that's a lot of tech stocks. So those big tech stocks, if they're pulling out, I hate to say it, that's an indicator right there.
Well, I had gotten, let me see if I can find it. I had gotten information. I don't know if many people actually showed it. Here we go. So you got to pull it and share it. Here we go. There we go. It says Warren Buffett sells nearly half of Berkshire's stake in Apple, 9 to 5 Mac, according to the filings published today. This was yesterday, or was it Sunday? Yeah, yesterday was Sunday. Warren Buffett, Berkshire Hathaway, sold nearly 50% of its stake in Apple. Now, why would they knew something was up? We knew a little bit about every single person like that. I know what I would look for is Rothschilds. I would look at the all the family Vanguard and all that. I would go look and see when did they get rid of a whole bunch of stock? Did they get rid of a whole bunch of stock? Yeah, he did sell almost everything he had. I mean, I think these people knew what was coming. I don't know. There's something's on the rise, guys. That's all I know. That's all I freaking know. It's not gonna end well because we definitely don't go into a recession. Definitely. But the country around us, all these countries, it's getting crazy. Everybody's fighting in the streets for their freedom, for their rights. Presidents getting put in office because they had a legal voting system. They covered up the windows, shut it down, and people weren't going to have that. People stood up for it. It's like, this ain't going to happen. Hell, some of these presidents have had to actually leave their country because people have ransacked everything. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on. And then this happened in Iran.
Fox News alert. Fox News confirms several U.S. personnel have been injured following a rocket attack today. It was an air base. It was at an air base in Iraq. The Pentagon is doing a damage assessment. We're working to get more information.
Yeah, so that's what she's referring to, and this is open source. She's referring to Al-Assad, which is in the western Anbar province. I actually was there at one point in my life. Right now the number is 10 injured U.S. personnel. That's right. The story. I don't know if that means military, combination of military and contractors, or just contractors. Right. But yeah. And that did happen today. The number, so Newsmax is reporting 10, and they're also reporting it was Al-Assad, which has been attacked several times. But yeah, I cannot believe this is happening.
I mean, it's like boom, snapped your fingers, and it just, usually you have little bits of warnings of things, with the stock market. They kind of trickle down a little bit here, a little bit there, and it stays low. This is a crash, and everybody wants to blame Trump. What did Trump have to do with this? Trump's not even in office. Trump's running for office, but he's not the president of the United States. What did the president have to say today about what took place?
over $1,200,200,000,000,000.
There you have it, folks. Your wonderful President of the United States of America. He stands for Americans. He's there for us. He tells us exactly what's going on. We have the roguest, the craziest. Then we've got Kamala. God, I just can't with these people anymore. They have really completely just made us a laughing stock. And nobody fears the U.S. anymore. The only people they fear is Trump. I'm going to tell you the only reason why they haven't tried something or done something, in my belief, is because they do not know whether or not Trump's going to be president. They do not know for sure. And maybe they're hoping he will be. But he is, and just think about it, if he was assassinated, if that plan had went through, this is the part you guys are seeing that was going to happen regardless, okay? Now, just imagine if Trump was out of the equation. I get chills thinking about it. We would have utter chaos everywhere. It would be bad. I mean, what do you think, Gravel?
Had Trump been assassinated? Is that your question?
Well, yeah, with all everything this is their plan, it was going to happen anyway.
We would be in either a civil war or a revolution.
One of the two. And everybody's asking me, the CW is going around that there might be a civil war. Yeah, that definitely has been brought up quite a bit lately.
I'm leaning more on the whether it's if that had happened or in the future or whatever. I'm leaning more towards. I mean, I'm personally not, but if you had to pick the two, it would probably look more like a revolution than a civil war, because as a civil war as we know it, that was basically divided by state lines. You had the North and the South, and that was, 160 plus years ago. And, the lines were drawn and, all that. But, now that we're all over the country, it would be more like though I guess the way I see it is that it would be more like basically a takeover of the government, which would essentially be a revolution.
It'd be like what our Constitution
That's my opinion.
says.
My opinion.
Well, it would be kind of like what the Constitution states, if we feel that our government has been compromised, so to speak, it's the American people's duty to make sure America doesn't fall. Period.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not advocating for any of that at all. I'm just simply stating that's what our Constitution says. But here they're wanting to invoke the 14th Amendment already before this election's even going. They couldn't arrest him. I mean, now this came out just a little bit ago. Let's see if I can find it. Trump had filed papers with the court to push his sentencing, therefore passed. And I thought it was going to be further up, but I guess it was September 11th when the sentencing was supposed to take place. But he had filed a motion that it would be after the election. Well, this happened just a few hours ago.
This news breaking moments ago, the U.S. Supreme Court now refusing to delay former President Trump's sentencing in his New York criminal trial until after the election. Trump says he did nothing wrong and plans to appeal the conviction on all 34 counts of falsifying business records. He is facing possible prison time or a fine at the sentencing, now set for the 18th of September. So a little more than a month from now. We'll keep track of that from here. Meanwhile, you got another.
So I guess the Supreme Court's going to hear about it. And I don't know, this world's just gone completely topsy-turvy. It has gone. I sit back and honestly, Gravel, I'm like, what the hell is going on?
I don't understand if it's not obvious to people. I know it's obvious to you, your panel, your show, your podcast, your lives. We all see this, but I cannot believe that it's not obvious to people what is actually happening right now. And
Are they just
it's terrible. It's terrible.
are they just choosing to be like, I just don't want to be involved? But you're involved. You're an American. You live here. It's going to affect you. Are you willing to compromise your freedom, the freedoms of your kids, the grandkids, the future generations? Are you willing to really allow that to happen? And you know what's sad? So many are willing to allow that. They truly are. They're willing to allow their, even to me, Democrats. I told them earlier, I would be pissed off from the guilt. I had no primary. I didn't get to write or vote for who I wanted to vote for. But then tonight, someone in the live, a Democrat, explained to me we voted for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris originally, and so we're okay with the Kamala Harris because we had originally voted for him to be president and vice president. So that is their answer, that they're okay with the way things stand, but they don't see a problem. But you got to think. I can't think like a Democrat, but if I was a Democrat, I wouldn't be awake. I wouldn't see things for what they are because I was so blinded of being a Democrat and believing their policies, believing their ways, their lies. So if you're going to continue to follow that and think that you're exempt from what is fixing to happen, you're crazy. It is going to affect every American. I mean, not the rich folk, but it is actually going to affect the rich folk at some point. At some point, it's going to. Alan Girl says if they want to
They
support
won't be rich. They won't be rich if nobody comes and works for them anymore.
No. Well, I mean, that's why they got open borders. They know the illegals will come in and they'll work for $5. Yep. Here in my town, the illegals taking the construction jobs. A lot of the construction companies here, we've had probably 4 that have went belly up because now the illegals can start their own business. They have their own construction and landscaping businesses. Do you think they hire? No. Yeah, I didn't. I never thought I'd be living in this crazy ass world the way things have gone. It has just completely astonished me. Well, here's some sort of funny news in a way. This is the Hurricane Debbie. Well, she blew $1 million worth of cocaine onto Florida Beach. Yep, sure did.
I did hear about this. I did hear about this. It like fell out of the boat or something.
Coming up. I mean, this has happened more than not. Let's see, in the last, don't quote me on it. I do know I've read in the last few months that there's been quite a few big duffel bags full of it come up on the shore. Here is a dictator. Kind of reminds you of somebody, doesn't it? Communist tyrant Maduro Perez out. Political protesters in prison garb and forces them to salute Chavez like in a concentration camp. So, what he did to these people, these were his people, and they stood up against this government and did not believe that this election was uh, correct. And he made them, arrested them, dressed them up, and made them salute in prison. Do you guys think for 1 minute you got a tyrannical government that's in our government that won't try this shit?
Well, the U.S., even Blinken, the Secretary of State, he came out and said that those election results are completely false. The opposition won. So now we got another problem. So we got Israel, Gaza, Russia, Ukraine, and now we got Venezuela. Thank you, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Appreciate that. You're going to send our young men and women into war now, one way or another.
That's scary, Todd. That's scary. That's really scary because they don't even have to go sign it now. They automatically sign them up. They automatically sign them up. And well, I said earlier, I think this is a perfect plan. Why not all the Democrats and Republicans alike that voted to send money to Ukraine, that voted for, they vote for us to go to war, if they vote for us to send anyone over there, I say before they send the first civilian, the first child, the first son, the first daughter of any other person besides themselves, I say we make sure that you congressmen and senators, that vote for this bullshit, you go get boots on the ground first, okay? And since you want sons and daughters to go so bad, your sons and daughters should go first, okay? Since you want to vote for this bullshit and this is the lifestyle and this is the way you want it to be, instead of sitting there not knowing what it's going to be like for us and not caring, we're going to put you on the front lines first. How about that? Then, if you come back, which I doubt, you let us know because we love our kids. There'll always be kids. We love our sons and daughters, and they didn't sign up for this bullshit. They're being forced into having to sign up when they're 18. A lot of them choose to never even sign up, but you take that choice away from them too. So now you're going to force them, if it comes down to it, to go to a war, and it would be our young people that they would push out first.
Well, in country, I don't know. I don't know if these, Call of Duty, Top Gun movies and whatnot. I mean, some movies are based on, history, and I get that, but they're still movies. I'll tell you what. I mean, maybe I'm the only one to say this, but as a veteran, war sucks. It can really fuck people up. Now, thankfully, mentally, physically, and all that, I was able to, survive it. But it sucks. There is nothing good about it. I mean, that should be like the last thing. And I'm talking like World War II type stuff, that's where it gets to that last resort. But when we send our youngins into, I get it. I get it on the whole, like projecting force and peace, strength, peace over strength. I get all that, and that's very easy to do in terms of projection. And yeah, AK, you're right. I mean, if there's any other veteran in the panel, I think they could probably agree with what I'm saying. War sucks. You're not high-fiving when you get off a mission. You're not doing. It's not like that. And I feel bad for the kids. I mean, just kind of like what happened in Afghanistan. I mean, they were, in my mind, in my veteran military mind, there was a 30-year-old, but the rest of them, and I know most of them were Marines, 11, but they were still babies.
Yeah.
And they were somebody's babies, and I just, I'm just getting so frustrated over this, because this all started when Biden came in, and now we got, the Lincolns Abraham Lincoln is replacing whatever carrier battle group is over there. There's still another carrier battle group over there, and I'm like, oh my God, we are This is not good. It's not good.
Well, I mean, I appreciate you bringing it to light and explaining a little bit better because you being former service um, understands when a point of when it's getting serious. You know what I'm saying? When they
Right.
deploy certain things, certain vessels, certain people, then you know it's starting to get pretty serious. And we've been saying this. We've been saying this that right before election, if they didn't take him out, that they would try and start a war. And I believe that's where we're headed. And here we've
Yeah.
got our economy sinking. It's not good. But, Democrats, they really don't like Trump supporters. They really don't like Trump supporters. Here is a doctor. It's called authorized personnel. When Trump supporters come to my office at the Mayo Clinic, I love misdiagnosing their healthy pregnancies as a topic so that they have to abort their white fetuses. This is from a doctor at the Mayo Clinic. He purposely misdiagnoses healthy pregnancies in women and tells them that it's an ectopic pregnancy. And he goes in and he purposely takes and kills, murders the baby, and because they're white as well. Here's another one, Diana Thirst. I'm a doctor at an urgent care in Seattle. And when foolish Trump supporters dare ask me for help, I love to misdiagnose them and give them vermis instead of antibiotics. Then I prescribe weed to myself and laugh at them.
I that was on X, I assume, or Twitter.
Yeah.
It's gotten to the point now, honestly, country. I mean, it's not, there might still be some middle of the road, independents, undecided, whatnot. But I mean, there are definitely sides. But when I read shit like that, I'm just like, I almost, it's like words can't express it. And they say we're in a cult.
I know, but that's evil. That's plain evil. And they will be held accountable one day. God will have his retribution. He will. He will. He absolutely will. But to do something like that, I mean, come on. It's just crazy.
Well, wouldn't that
Here's,
be like medical malpractice or?
oh, it would be murder. It would be so many, so many, so many charges. You know, so many charges, and they swore to do no harm. And there's their names. Go look them up. I put it on Telegram as well. But they won't have jobs after we post it everywhere. I mean, it seems to me, you don't want to be in that sense, in that frame of mind, but like Bud Light, look what they did. Um, there has to come a point when people have to start in some way, even if it's this way of pushing the truth out there, or if you see something, say something. To read something like that and do nothing about it and not let the world know about it. I don't see how you can do that. I don't see how anybody can do it anyway, but this doctor literally allows women that come in with a perfectly viable pregnancy, lies to them and tells them, hey, you have an ectopic pregnancy, goes in and does surgery on them and removes a perfectly viable human being. And because of white.
Yeah, I threw out a couple of videos between yesterday and today. I was on your live earlier. I didn't say much or anything, but some of the comments I got or I received. Actually, 90 better than 98% of them were very positive,
Right.
basically making fun of Kamala. But I got some bad ones in there. They're like, some dude was like, and this doesn't, it doesn't scare me. Now, if I was a woman, I could see it the other way. But they're like, this one dude told me, he's like, I'm gonna find you and I'm gonna kill you. That's what he told me.
Oh, I get death threats all the time. It's nothing new. People have gotten to a point to where, they take this so serious, and because our government has continually pushed the narrative to make it this serious, to cause the division, to cause the harm. We've had an open border, and then that's like I was saying earlier, people are starving. People are homeless. People are losing everything that they worked their entire lives for. People have things that were left to them and families, down the line, that was up to them to go, harvest food, grow their fields or whatever. And with all this geoengineering and the shit they put in our skies, they've poisoned the ground. They're taking eminent domain on people's properties and hundreds of thousands of acres of land because they want the water. They want to do something there. They want to drill. They want to get. Do you guys not see what they're doing? It's not that freaking hard.
Well, and I think the question is, it's like, do you really want? I mean, because I cannot wrap my head around it. Maybe it was the way I was raised or something or whatever, but I'm like, do you want the federal government to tell you what to do, when to wake up, what to do at during parts of the day, when to go to sleep? I mean, this is, I mean, they call us fascists. This is, whether it's fascist or communist, it's probably more communist. But I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, do you really want that? I mean, you want
Right.
somebody to just, I don't know, tell you what to do? I mean, I don't get it. I
Well,
think, oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
the UK, they are going through some shit. They are literally going through some shit. They had so
They're
many.
about to break out in a civil war.
Yeah, I mean, they already stood up. People were standing up. I saw them kicking in the Holiday Inns. They were going after illegal immigrants. Then you had Islam. You had Muslims
The pro pally
with
people.
they were with hatchets and knives, and they were trying to find the British, and they were going to take the British out, mass mobs of them. Then you had Asians going after white men. Now this is what they've decided to implement in the UK.
A radical plan to crack down on social media abuse is being considered by the federal government. For more, Nine's Oliver Haig joins us live in Adelaide. Ollie, how will it work?
Layla, good morning. Essentially, it will work the same as a passport. Australians forced to submit 100 points of identification, like their driver's licence or passport, when using social media accounts like Facebook and Twitter. Now, police would have access to those social media accounts, and it's all part of a crackdown on online abuse. Now, users could be liable for defamation suits or even criminal prosecution, and it's all part of a plan hoping to deter people from engaging in bad behaviour. Now, the recommendations were handed down by a federal parliamentary inquiry. They're reforms that are being considered by the Morrison government, with the chairman saying there is merit to remove the veil of being anonymous. Layla?
Wow. So now you got to take 100 points, like your driver's license or something. I guess they're on a point system. Everybody called this a conspiracy theory that this was never going to happen. This was not possible. It would happen. And it may not be happening here, but they want it to happen here because the shit is already laid. The groundwork is laid there for it. But they actually, if you do something wrong online, they're going by the credit system and they're going to take points from the credit system. China already does it. Facial recognition. Um, and here I always said that if you ever had one of the electric vehicles, like they want to implement to where they get rid of all the vehicles that we have and it has to go to EV vehicles, that there will become a time that if you do something on social media, it will all be listed by a credit score system, like your credit score you have, and they'll take points from it. And there'll be a day you need to go to work and you'll get in that car and they'll say, I'm sorry, you put a comment up last night and you violated it. You're suspended for 2 days from driving. You're suspended from going to work. You're suspended from getting food. And that is the life. That is the realism. That is the truth of what is to come if you continue to vote against the right policies. Period. We are the United States of America. That is who we are. The one thing that sets us apart from anyone else in the whole entire world is our Constitution. We have to nurture that. We have to protect that. Period. We don't go against it. We respect it. Period. And that's where we're at. We have a government that even said that the Constitution is not absolute. We've had a government that is up there right now planning destruction to Americans. They will make you believe, oh, we're doing so well for the country. We love the country and we want to do this for the country. No. Kamala doesn't even know what she is. She's an Indian one day. She's a black woman one day. She's Asian the next day. Just for votes. And it always happens at election. She put more men in
and
prison.
the accents, the change in the accents. And it's not just
God.
her, it's AOC. I think I shared a video with you earlier. I got that one off Twitter, but
right.
Well, I got it off Twitter, but it ended up on TikTok. But she's like 2024. I'm like, you don't talk like that, Kamala.
I don't get it. I mean, what happened to the people that we voted for to put in them seats? Did all of their dirty laundry finally catch up to them? Did everything that they've ever done in darkness has come to light and certain people know about their dirty darkness and they are being extorted? Look, you vote this way. If you don't, we're going to release the information. You know what? It is not just your ass. We didn't ask you to get in them seats. Did you know Congress has a $17 million fund set up for if there's any kind of sexual assaults done within the Congress, that they take money out of that to play hush hush to the individuals, the victims? Do they have a murder fund set up? What kind of funds does Congress have set up to be able to do that? I mean, that lets me know. I mean, they had fucking, what is it? Recently, just a few months ago, it was having sex in the house, having sex right there in front of, and somebody was like, they thought, oh, that was good. I say clean the fucking house with every single one of them. Congress, you ain't doing your job. Get out. We'll put somebody that will. And if they don't do the right thing, we'll get them out too. But I tell you what, we know what we're doing. The American people are tired. I'm tired. I'm 51. And before I go out of this world, I want to make sure, the best of my ability, that there will be a future. There will be an America still standing for the future generations. And the youth today, that is who they're targeting. You know why? Because the youth today is the youth that will lead that generation. And if they can get to that youth.
Are you referring to when you said, are you talking about the G-sex that occurred on camera?
Yeah.
In the Senate House, or the Senate chamber. Yeah,
you're right.
Like, what? I just can't. I don't care if it's G-sex or straight sex. I honestly don't care. I'm like, how could you disrespect the people's house like that?
Yeah, and then they came out saying there's cages in there where they have like orgies and everything. Look it up, people. I ain't lying. If you're new to this, hell, honey, go look it up. You won't believe the shit that we have literally been reading, been watching, and been putting out there. And do you know, okay, they silence us when we put the truth out there. I lost another account the other day. I have an account warning today on this one. So, you know what? They're going to take all my accounts. They don't like what I have to say. None of them do. They don't like what I have to say. Their way of dealing with things. Shut that person up. Don't let the truth out. Thank God Rumble is here because and X, I have to say X is pretty fair at times. I haven't had any issues with X. But I don't understand. I just don't understand. I know we have evil running rampant right now, and this election is the but they're going to try to do whatever they can to these charges to find him guilty, do this and do that. I mean, what else are they going to do? They tried to take the man out. The man took a bullet, but God has other plans for Trump. You got to continuously pray for that man because he is under attack 24/7.
You're right.
24/7.
You're right, country. And I'm gonna have to mute my camera for a minute. I gotta get my kids. Give me 2 minutes. I'll come right back in. But this is not a Democrat Republican thing. This is not a Trump Biden thing. This is a good versus evil thing. And you and I have talked at length about that. I mean, this is deep. You know, I mean, nothing I ever saw, and I know you said the same thing that we would ever see in our lifetime. I'll mute my camera real quick, and I'll be right back up. Just 2 minutes, if that's okay.
You're fine. You do what you have to do. Okay.
Okay.
You're
Thank you.
good. You're welcome. But yeah, this word's going topsy freaking turvy. Topsy turvy. I wanted to show this video. There was a couple actually I wanted to show. I couldn't load them on here because they're too long. So what we have to do is load them from Telegram. And if you haven't been following the Telegram channel, it's country_crazy chat. Come join us. We post a little bit of everything in here. Let's see what Swifties for Kamala.
You know, I just found out Taylor Swift has endorsed Kamala Harris. Makes sense to me because all of her songs are about how she always chooses the wrong person. You know, I just found out.
Smart young one.
I'd be willing to bet that if you were to look at the cards in your purse or wallet right now, that the vast majority of those cards would say MasterCard or Visa. And you're probably thinking, yeah, who cares? Why would I care who processes my purchases? But whose logo on your card just got way more important, especially if you support the Second Amendment. Because New York just passed a bill mandating that credit card companies apply what's known as MCCs to all firearm purchases. If you're unaware, MCCs are merchant category codes. That means that whether you're buying firearms or ammunition, there's going to be a special little code attached to that so the government knows exactly what you're buying. They say it's to give them a clear picture of gun sales, but we all know what it is. It's so the federal government gets to keep an eye on anybody exercising their Second Amendment. Let me just say right now, this isn't a bill you can fight. This has already passed. However, thanks to J.D. Vance and Dick Durbin, which, let's be real, in today's political climate, a Republican like J.D. Vance and a Democrat like Dick Durbin coming together to do something that actually benefits the American people, well, they put forward what's known as the Credit Card Competition Act, CCCA. That's a lot of C's, but it doesn't matter. The whole idea behind the CCCA is that they recognize that Visa and MasterCard process 83% of the transactions. And they also know that those two credit card companies will always comply with what the government wants. The act targets that to protect Americans. It not only increases your network choices, making sure that credit cards issued by major financial institutions have at least two non-competing networks. It also breaks down the dominance of Visa and MasterCard, actually allowing competition, which is how capitalism is supposed to work, which will lead to lower transaction fees, lower interchange fees, and all the other benefits that come with actual competition. The benefit is if you've got American Express or Discover, you don't have to worry about it. See, because this only targets the companies with over $100 billion in assets. Let me just say that if you like your Second Amendment, or you're like most Americans and you actually just care about your privacy, you need to be supporting the CCCA. And I can honestly say this is the first time in my life I've ever supported something put forth by Dick Durbin.
You're right, MAGA. That was the best line that he had. I had this one on them. Oh, here it is. This was James O'Keefe, Project Veritas, went undercover. You have got to watch this. I'm gonna play a little bit of it. It's a 15-minute video, but I would really like for you to listen to a bit of it.
I hope with all the shit going on with the All Muslim Council, whatever here, that there wasn't hanky-panky in that election.
The absentee ballots are being filled out in people's dining rooms by the candidates.
These guys go door to door and they take people's ballots. They bully them and they give them their ballots over.
Bangladeshi did it, started doing it. Oh yeah, they started before the Yemeni.
They go around the neighborhood with the AB applications and they have people sign the application. Then they put candidates to drop them all off at City Hall. Then they know when they go out, they go back to the person's house and say, you sign the envelope, give me the ballot. They're harvesters. And they did.
Project Veritas journalists have been on the ground in the city of Hamtramck, Wayne County, Michigan. Hamtramck is Michigan's most densely populated city. It's also the only Muslim majority city in America, and the first city in America to have an all-Muslim city council and a Muslim mayor. That would be crazy though if like all this bullshit happened and they cheated.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna happen. They probably didn't cheat enough to change the election, but they could have, and there's no way to tell.
You need these people's votes, right? So who's gonna, say brown-skinned people are, doing election fraud?
Our investigation started in 2023 when the pride flag was first banned from being displayed on public property.
The flag issue was a war. Now it's a battle. There's a bigger war. Yeah. Okay, there are a lot of things going on here.
We feel betrayed by the Muslim community because of how much sort of we take.
You think they're cheating? Like a friend of mine said that the elections? Yeah, absolutely.
But what we found were shocking allegations of voter fraud, including intimidation, coercion, bribery, ballot harvesting, and even midnight meetings where the ballots are auctioned off to the highest bidder.
They hire black people to go to black houses. They hire Bangladeshi people to go to Bangladeshi houses. The black people, they pay them for their ballots.
Voter fraud happens in small ethnic communities where someone is more assimilated, they can run the show, they can intimidate.
And so you think that's what happened here?
Oh, it is what happened here. This happens in Gali and Yemen.
So then they get together late at night. They joke and they call it like the midnight meetings. And then they auction them. They bid for them.
They auction for ballots.
Yeah.
Then they auction them. Did you hear that?
Did you ever feel like you were ballot harvested out of office?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm absolutely positive that happened.
We know who's doing it, and there's a attorney general's office. I got 3 people busted back in 2013.
I know that there's an investigation going on. Russell's been involved, and I think the feds are involved.
You say the authorities, either the feds or whoever are investigating the city council. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Investigating voter fraud. This has always been, a strongly progressive city. It's like we've welcomed everyone here, even those who, would not have welcomed us necessarily.
Right. I mean, if the roles were reversed, the council.
And the roles have been reversed.
Meet Karen Majewski, who served as Hamtramck's first woman mayor from 2005 to 2021, the year she was defeated by her Yemeni challenger Amir Ghalib, who himself was historically swept into office as Hamtramck's first Muslim mayor, along with America's first all-Muslim city council. As the consequences of those elections continue to be felt, locals now fear their once welcoming LGBTQ sanctuary may be lost forever due to the policies of their newly emboldened all-Muslim leadership.
Is the council so far remaining moderate? Because the Bengali...
No, they are not. They are not moderate. The newest thing is on Tuesday, they passed a resolution divesting of all investment in Israel.
Breaking news right now out of Hamtramck. City Council amended a resolution that would ban the pride flag from being flown on city-owned property.
Palestine Avenue. It's the new name for Holbrook here in Hamtramck.
That's the Islamic call to prayer. It blasts out 5 times a day throughout the streets of Hamtramck, Michigan.
Hamtramck residents are sounding off after City Council passed an ordinance allowing religious animal slaughter.
We're kind of a bellwether here for the whole process of immigration and accommodation and cultural diversity. that really is the future of the United States.
Majewski's been featured on CNN, Fox News, PBS, and others, but only Project Veritas undercover journalists captured on camera her never-heard-before allegations of voter fraud within the Bangladeshi and Yemeni communities of Hamtramck that threatens free and fair elections now and in the future.
We have a serious, I mean, that's been going on for 20 years, basically, absentee ballot problem.
Here.
Oh, yeah. And, it's been investigated. The government won't touch it.
And there's, heavy duty, those absentee ballots, hey, again, this is another thing that you can't say out loud. Right? The absentee ballots are being filled out in people's dining rooms by the candidates.
They sit around the kitchen table and they, and then, yeah, it's complete. Yeah. Oh,
They fill out the ballots.
Yeah. The Bangladeshi started doing it. Oh, yeah. They started before the Yemeni.
So now you have a little competition within the two groups to ballot.
Absolutely.
We call it ballot harvesting. I mean, I call it ballot harvesting up there, not out loud, but
yeah.
Who are the ones that are doing it? Hassan? I met Hassan.
Yeah, had more absentee votes.
Like the former mayor, Lynn Blasey claims to have experienced the seedy side of Hamtramck elections up close. Blasey, who identifies as asexual queer, ran as the only non-Muslim candidate for Hamtramck City Council in both 2021 and 23. Blasey explained to our journalists how she believes her Muslim political opponents are blatantly committing widespread voter fraud within their own and other ethnic communities.
They hire black people to go to black houses. They hire Bangladeshi people to go to Bangladeshi houses. The black people, they pay them for their ballots. They strategically choose people that, they target families that don't care or don't know the voting process.
Yeah.
So newer immigrants that don't know.
Lacey singled out and accused longtime incumbent city councilman Muhammad Hassan, who is currently running for Wayne County Commissioner, of illegally harvesting votes.
He's been on the council for 12 years. So he knows what it takes to be on council, but he also cheats.
He cheats in what way?
He harvests votes.
He harvests votes, and you know that for a fact?
So, yes.
Under Michigan election law, it's a felony for a person to return, solicit to return, or agree to return another's absentee ballot to a clerk. It's also a felony for a person to be in possession of another's absentee ballot unless that person is immediate family, resides in the same household, or is authorized by an elections clerk.
No one's ever lost an election. It's always been the clerk's fault. I was the city clerk here for 8 years. So
get out of here. Yeah. I was being the city clerk.
And it's elections of that's a hard part. Yeah, right. It's crazy these days. I think everything you do is hard.
This is August Gischlag. August is a Michigan State certified election official currently serving as the city clerk at the city of Fraser. August also served as the Hamtramck city clerk from 2013 to 2021.
How many years were you? 8 years?
8 years here, 2.5 years in another city. Now I'm in 2 weeks in Fraser, just starting. I worked for Congressman, worked for Senator.
Nice.
Been doing elections all my life.
Mr. Gischlag provided Project Veritas with expert insight into voter fraud and how it's been going down in Hamtramck for decades, revealing to our journalists that members of the All-Muslim City Council are currently under investigation for these very illegal activities.
And then you guys never have any problems with too many mail-in ballots or anything like that?
Oh, yeah. They're actually in investigation now. It's not too many mail-in ballots. It's these guys go door to door and they take people's ballots. They bully them and they give them their ballots over. It only happens in ethnic communities.
In the Muslim communities?
We know who's doing it, and there's an attorney general's office on it. I got 3 people busted back in 2013.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
3 guys got found guilty. They couldn't run for office anymore. I got fined. I mean, I'm a Democrat, and I busted other Democrats.
I hope with all the bull going on with the All-Muslim Council, whatever here, that there wasn't hanky-panky in that election.
Absolutely was. Really? We're investigating right now. Yeah.
And they think they got somebody? How do they do it?
It's easy. What's fun? They go around the neighborhood with the AB applications, and they have people sign the application. Then they put candidates to drop them all off at City Hall. Then they know when they go out, they go back to the person's house and say, "You either sign the envelope, give me the ballot." They're harvesters. And they did. Voter fraud happens in small ethnic communities where someone is more assimilated. They can run the show. It can intimidate. Say, like, if you don't vote, vote for me, your cousin has nowhere to live next year when he comes in. I'll shut it down.
Closed societies, basically. Yep. And so you think that's what happened here?
Oh, it is what happened. It's absolutely what happened. It happened with the Ukrainians. It happened with the Polacks. It happened with It's ethnic communities. Whoever gets here can run the show on the newer people,
And now it's
the
happening.
newer citizens.
Now it's happening.
Now. It's happening to Gali and Yemi.
Lacey, who maintains relations within Hamtramck's Muslim community, claims she's learned of a midnight meeting held close to Election Day where the harvested ballots are allegedly auctioned off to candidates who are the highest bidder.
And they get together late at night. They joke and they call it like the midnight meetings.
The midnight
Meetings, like it's. So then they auction them. They bid for them.
And you know this how? You heard like
Bits and pieces from lots of different people.
they auction for ballots.
Yeah. People who have participated in that late night auction before and have been in the room when it's happening have told me about it.
Wow.
Given the information we received, our journalists arranged a late night get together of their own with Councilman Abu Musa to warn him that word of the midnight meeting and allegations of voter fraud had come to light. Musa never disavowed the midnight meeting and actually claimed Councilman Hassan admitted to him and others that he paid for 300 ballots in 2023, seemingly confirming Blasey's allegation.
Brother Musa, I gotta tell you, I'm very nervous about this. You're not gonna shoot me, are you? No, don't worry, man. So basically, what she's saying is that what I was told is that Hassan is mad at the mayor for making you mayor pro tem, and that he wants to expose the city council members and the mayor for doing stuff with ballots. She's saying they get black people, that Hassan was saying that they get black people and they pay them $20 or $30 for their ballot. They have midnight meetings. Then they auction them. Did you hear that?
Not the midnight meeting. Hassan is everybody knows.
Yeah.
Our community knows. Who knows the black people?
Yes, exactly.
He's the only one who knows black people. Now, if something come up.
But is it true that he paid for 300 ballots? That's what they told me. The queer lady in the video says, in the audio says that he paid. I don't know if you heard, but we know that he paid for 300 ballots.
Sometimes he says so. I don't have any proof.
He paid for the ballots. That it's actually him.
He told the people, yeah, I get those things. If somebody properly or improperly handle the ballot, he's the one. But I know he's trying to harm me. Mayor told me to also. The things, if Hassan somebody's friend, this guy doesn't need any enemy. He's enough.
To see how these alleged ballot harvesters would react to receiving numerous unmarked absentee ballots out of thin air, our journalists contacted Councilman Hassan and Musa and offered them an opportunity to acquire what they believe to be a bunch of unmarked ballots gathered for their benefit.
We have a lot of our citizens who are from, are immigrants and don't speak English and don't understand the process. A brother from the mosque was able to gather some of their ballots that they didn't know what to do with them. So we're a little lost. He left them on a porch in a package.
This is the trap. We have to see the name. Is the Muslim or not?
The ballots, yes, they are from Muslims, and there are some that are also from the Ukrainian immigrants. There's about I want to say 43 ballots, but they don't understand how to fill them out. So they left them blank, and we kind of compiled them. He left them there.
If it is not signed, okay, give me the address. I will go there. If it is everything good, we can drop to the city hall. City hall parking lot has the box. We can drop it to there. Hello.
Hello, brother Abu Musa.
Yes, brother.
Assalamu alaikum, brother. How are you?
Good.
A lot of brothers and sisters didn't know how to fill out their ballots, and we even met some Ukrainians who, part of the Ummah, and so they left their ballots. There's a bag. It's an abandoned house, but there's a small package on the doorstep. If you could have someone grab it, we just don't want those to go to waste. So, if you could just pick those up, they're right there.
Hey man, you touched my heart, brother. Thank you very much. Listen, I will come up. I will meet you. How about this evening?
And A lot of the folks who are elected officials in Hamtramck don't live in Hamtramck. That's illegal as well.
The news is they don't even live in Hamtramck here.
There's a couple of them that don't.
Legally, all of them signed affidavits saying that they live in Hamtramck.
They don't live in Hamtramck.
But they have a house homesteaded here, but they live in like Warren and for the kids go to school. We don't know Musa doesn't live here. We got the other guy we think they caught, but we'll see.
According to our sources on the ground, voter fraud is real and it's happening in Hamtramck. Now that these allegations have come to light and it appears that AG Nessel is well aware, the question is, will America's only all-Muslim city council be held to account?
I know that there's an investigation going on, but I don't know who exactly. I think council members.
Am I going to be reading about this in the paper one day?
Yep.
Soon?
Probably.
Really? What name am I looking for?
Hamtramck Council. I won't have my name on it, but it'll, what's going to happen?
Maybe Nessel's gotten involved because
Oh yeah, absolutely. Nestle's been involved, and I think the feds are involved.
you say the authorities, either the feds or whoever are investigating the city council. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. news.
Investigating voter fraud.
Good, like some of the ballot harvesting, like we were
I
talking
don't
about.
know. I have no details. All I hear is, and it's not common knowledge.
Okay, so nobody knows.
I knew that was a long video, but I think it needed to be out there. Gateway Pundit had released that today. She said it had been going on for 20 years. So imagine what they've been doing with all of our elections, how long all of this has truly been going on. Nothing has ever been true. Nothing. What we were taught in school. And this is when I woke up in 2020. And it was very hard when you have to realize. Maybe that's why people just don't pay attention to it. Maybe that's why people are acting as though nothing's going on, because they just don't want to know the truth.
Hey, country. That was a great video. Very informative. Do you know what? It's not a gotcha. Do you know what the UMA means? As soon as I heard that, that was the first time I've heard that word in a while.
I knew you would know. Someone had said something about it in the comment section, and I was like, I think I'd heard it once or twice in my lifetime, but never thought anything of it, you know?
I'll just give you a quick one if you can hear me.
Yes, I can.
So to speak. I didn't mean to say it like that. Thus, when someone from an English-speaking background hears the word UMA defined, they immediately think of the nation state whose members live between a set of predefined borders. Now, unquote, this is my own opinion, borders being like Iraq, Afghanistan, Iran, whatever. This, however, is not technically correct because Shab is the Arabic word that means nation. However, Ummah does not only define a group of people with common ancestry or in the same geographical region. It means this plus much more. Ummah is defined as the Islamic community, which is a somewhat better definition. As is the case with many Arabic words, the common translation of Ummah as nation fails to identify the layers of meaning and the nuances of Arabic grammar. So it's not. So once, I mean, there's a lot of things in that video I want to talk about, but I'll just focus on that Ummah statement.
Right.
It's not about, the best way I can define it, like let's say you live in Minnesota and somebody else lives in Missouri.
Right.
They define it as the Islamic nation. They don't define it as being from Minnesota or being from Missouri, but I didn't know it was going to go to that UMA word, but that's what UMA means. Just
Wow.
so, yeah.
I didn't know that. Thank you.
Which means, which can translate into, we want an Islamic nation and we want to impose. Now, I'm just deducing this myself, but we want an Islamic nation and impose Sharia law. That word, Ummah, is a very dangerous word.
Well, that's what I've been hearing lately. That Muslims were saying actually today that the American women do not want to procreate, and that's when the Muslims are it'll be a Muslim nation, and Sharia law will go into effect in order for procreation to take place. That is what we were hearing.
That's
dangerous.
They didn't come out and say it. But that's what they were saying. And if anybody does or does not know what Sharia law is, Sharia law is the most abject, awful woman's rights thing. That's what I'll try to simplify it. Like the Taliban, throwing acid in little schoolgirls' faces to keep them going from school or going to school, that is Sharia law. Having their burqas on, having them be covered head to toe. That's the most simplest. So when I heard that word Ummah, I was like, oh shit, I see what's going on here. I had not seen that video. That was very informative, though. Thank you for sharing.
It's on the Telegram, so if you want to download it, you can easily download it and rewatch or understand more. But thank you so much for your insight of, Sharia law is horrible. You got to stop it, and it is scary. You're right, Amy. This is not, someone had said earlier in a comment, this is not the America that we once knew. This is not the America that we have once lived in. But inbreeding. Let's watch this video on it that was on the Joe Rogan show. It is quite sobering.
I think a part of it was inbreeding.
This is your own theory.
No. Look at
Someone else has a
Muslims and
theory?
inbreeding, major problem.
I've never heard this before.
Especially with immigrants in Britain, like the Pakistanis in London. They'll have all kinds of serious inbreeding problems because that's an even smaller sample size you're dealing with.
Strap yourself in for this. 70% of all Pakistanis are inbred. And in Turkey, the amount is between 25 to 30%. More stillbirths among immigrants. A rough estimate reveals that close to half of everybody living in the Arab world is inbred. A large percentage of the parents said, this is blowing my mind. So listen to the BBC investigation in Britain several years ago revealed that at least 55% of the Pakistani community in Britain was married to a first cousin. Holy shit. BBC's research also discovered that while British Pakistanis account for just 3.4% of all births in Britain, they accounted for 30% of all British children with recessive disorders and a higher rate of infant mortality. What in the fuck? Labour Party MP has called for a ban on first cousin marriage. Medical evidence shows that one of the negative consequences of inbreeding is a 100% increase in the risk of stillbirths. Wow. That is insane.
I also read somewhere that a lot of the symptoms of inbred people are irrational rage, fanaticism, and they end up just describing ISIS.
Look at what it says here, that with the IQ points, it says findings on intelligence. Research shows that if one's parents are cousins, intelligence goes down 10 to 16 IQ points. The risk of having an IQ lower than 70, criterion for being retarded, in quotes, are they using that word? Increases 400% among children from cousin marriages. Well, let me say that again. The risk of having an IQ lower than 70 increases 400% amongst children from cousin marriages. Jesus Christ.
Then why don't we know this? Because people don't like the truth.
Islamophobia. They don't like being called Islamophobic by even discussing it. Like, we're going to be called Islamophobic for even bringing this up.
Information has to come out.
You blew my...
It does, and that's why we're showing it. That's why they have no... There's so many reasons. You guys have to read up on Islam religion. You really do. To understand it so much more. Very scary times, guys, we're living in. Very scary times. I've posted that video as well on the Telegram. Most of all the videos that I have, and all the commentary and other things and videos that I make and commentary, I do post on the Telegram channel, which is country_crazy_chat. That's where we can freely post the videos without being suppressed or violated or banned or any of it. So we always have to have a place to go in order to get the message out. And if you want to learn quite a bit, great place to go. Not just my channel, many other channels that are there.
Yeah, exactly. And MAGA's got a good point. Sharia law cannot be banned under the 1952 immigration law. This will be active here soon if we don't stop this now. And so I don't want a monologue here, but if you can give me 1 minute, Country.
Go right ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
This is what caused the rise of ISIS in the 2014 timeframe under guess who? Obama.
Go figure.
So ISIS, they created what they called a caliphate, right? So they don't recognize international borders. They don't recognize state borders. They don't recognize any of that. And I'm not trying to say like I'm the most well-versed in this, but I've been around it.
Correct.
And what it's actually kind of eating at my heart a little bit, like that video you showed me, because as soon as I heard that UMA term, I was like, oh shit.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
I see what they're doing now. Because that is we're just gonna create our own country within a country.
Within the US.
Yeah. And this goes back to why
AOC, why they've done what they've done and allowed the borders open, all these other countries, especially countries in there, the war in Gaza. That makes sense. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So between Bush and Obama, it took 9 years and several months or whatever, 9 years, several months and some days to get Osama and al-Baghdadi, who was the leader of ISIS. Trump got him in like 6 weeks.
Oh, yeah. And,
and it pissed people off. I mean, I'm just going to say that. It pissed people off because he's like, just fucking kill him, you know?
But see, that's the kind of strength we need in America. You guys, you can't run a country and think everybody's going to be love and everybody cares. No. And America should be first.
Yeah.
I haven't seen America be first since those idiots went in the White House. I have not.
Yep. Hey, T. How you doing?
Hey, T. Good to see you. Welcome in. Welcome in. Well, we knew the Olympics left a really bad taste in the mouth of so many people. What did the priest have to say about it? Just curious. What did they have to say about it?
On this past Friday, we witnessed an unbelievable manifestation of the darkness and sin in our world, the abominable mockery of the Holy Eucharist at its institution for the opening of the Summer Olympics in Paris. It is difficult to imagine anything more debased and blasphemous. That such an event could take place shows us in a most painful way how what was once a Christian culture has become the theater of Satan and of those who cooperate with his thoroughly evil plans, the plans of a murderer from the beginning who has nothing to do with the truth, the plans of a liar and the father of lies. Our disgust and anger about what happened at the Summer Olympics awakens anew our consciousness of so many other manifestations of the open rebellion against God and his plan for our salvation in the world.
You guys, it's a pretty long one, but you guys can watch it. So they're speaking out, and I agree. And it was a theater for Satan. That's all it was. And that's what they try to do. See, Satan has his followers, just like the Lord has his. Satan has his followers, and they will push it just to see if it will be allowed. And if you think about it, they do this ever so often. They get radical whenever Democrats are in office, and this narrative gets pushed. It's just gotten pushed a lot faster. And yeah, there are a lot of people that are speaking out about it. Absolutely. And they should be. Absolutely should be, because this is a scary time. Scary time. What did JD Vance have to say about Kamala Harris?
Yeah, but they're also now they held someone long enough to pass up where they could actually vote for a new kind of like nominee, and then they just picked who they wanted. So there's actually no democracy in that.
Not at all. And 14 million people, look, it's not my party, and I wouldn't have voted for him, but 14 million people voted for him to be the nominee of the Democrat Party.
Yes.
How many people have voted for Kamala Harris to be the nominee of the Democrat Party?
None.
Zero. Right?
Yeah.
Not a single person. So it's funny, they accuse me and Donald Trump of being threats to democracy. Like, Trump is the most popular person in the party. He still ran through the primary process because that's what you have to do, right? You have to persuade voters that you're the guy. That's kind of how this system works. And basically what happened is Barack Obama, the Clinton family, and a few billionaires got in a room together and said, hey, this guy's political dead weight, let's throw him overboard. And that's really creepy if you think about it, but then you realize he's the president of the United States, and it kind of makes you question, what is the real power center in this country if
unelected
a
officials.
few billionaires and a few unelected officials can throw the president overboard? I think, I've tried to make this argument to Democrats is, look, if you are uncomfortable by how this process shaked out and you feel kind of insulted as a voter, vote for Republicans. You may not agree with us on everything, but at least in our party, we believe you should have to persuade people, not try to run this corrupt process in the background.
They sit on a...
I like that. I like that thought.
I think with Vance, I think people are, I mentioned the last time I was on your show, I watched Hillbilly Elegy. It actually didn't talk about his politics. It just talked about his life growing up, which was based on his book. And, he grew on me. I don't like the things he said about Trump in 2016 or whenever that was, but, that's okay. Well, I shouldn't say I don't like it. I mean, everybody's got an opinion. But I think Vance is very special in a way, like the campaign, and I think he's got a lot to offer. He's very intelligent, Harvard lawyer, veteran, Marine, senator, owned his own company, all that, and they're gonna try to put him through the coals, like saying this whole. I'm sure you guys have all heard it. This weird thing, not just so much about him. I mean, him and the whole Republican Party, they're weird, and I'm just like, seriously, is that all you got? You just call us weird? Because I'm almost kind of like, okay, well, I'm weird.
I haven't heard Kamala speak about policy at all. I have not heard her speak about any kind of policies at all, except wanting to stop our two-way rights. Except that's about the only thing I've ever heard her say anything about. But the rest of it, we're weird.
Yeah, we're weird. And the mainstream media is taking off with that. But I want everybody to have hope and faith. This isn't going to last long. She's not going to get. She's not going to. Okay, she doesn't have a VP yet. She's going to evidently select the VP sometime between tonight and tomorrow.
Right.
Because she starts out in Pennsylvania tomorrow. And whether it's Shapiro or Walz, it looks like it's been narrowed down to two choices. There's no debate scheduled. There's a debate about the debate.
Well, Trump said, okay, I'll debate you, but we're going to do it in an arena. We're going to do it with certain people. I mean, why is it such a hard thing? But no, she wants to be in control. Well, no, we'll debate with a split screen. So it's this and that. So they can push their narrative. We saw what CNN did. They knew. Even CNN was complicit in Biden's brain being gone. Every single one of them, because she was actually doing hand motions. The one lady, I can't remember her name, but she was doing hand motions when certain things need to be said. So they want to control it, and you can't. And then MAGA says, "I'm more accepting of
We
Vance
should
now."
get this whole we should get like Gen X or millennials, Gen X and millennials, and just like make like somebody start up a video and just say, well, I'm weird too, and spread it around TikTok.
Maybe I'll do one tonight. I'm weird. And then you can do edit. You can say you're weird, and then we can do that. That's a good idea. I'm gonna do that, and everyone do edit, and we're gonna get that out there. We're gonna let them know just how weird we are. Give them.
That would be hilarious. That would be so funny.
Let's do it. Let's give them something to talk about. Absolutely. I love it. I'm gonna do it, guys. I'll do it when I get off there.
All right, country. You take lead. I'll duet you, or I'll stitch you, or
all right. We'll do that. We'll try to make it. We'll get this thing going, get it popped off, and we're like, I'm weird. Yeah. Is that what you want to say? Is I'm weird? Is there a certain catchphrase you want to say?
Right.
With it?
It would be hilarious. I mean, we could totally dominate TikTok with that.
What should we say? I like being weird. Or you're
maybe
weird.
We could talk about that. We could talk about like Gen X stuff, like, hey, we didn't grow up with cell phones, and we went to roller skating rinks and arcades, and
I drank from a water hose.
And I drink from a water hose. I guess I'm weird. I mean,
Vance
is millennial, but
I got a great
something
idea.
Like that,
I got a great idea for it.
Okay.
I'll start it out. Do you know how weird Gen X is? And then I'll lead into.
Yeah,
that'd be great. That'd be great. Yes, we're gonna do it. We are going to do this. We are gonna make this happen. About to be weird. That is what I'll end with, Janine. Miss Jen. I'll end with that. And Miss Amy. But you guys do edit too. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get it going. We're gonna let them know just how weird Gen X is. Oh my God.
So funny.
Yeah, great idea. Great idea. Great idea. I love it. I love it. I love it. I do.
You know,
But,
I think it's kind of like Trump. I think Vance was the right pick at the right time because he's got the Rust Belt, he's got his background, he's actually does have biracial children because his wife is Indian, just like Camel Toe. You know, I mean, I they're just what they're digging for is just unreal. It's unreal. That's all you got is to say Republic. Everything is just really the Republicans, mainly MAGA. We're weird. You know, that's all you can say. Because I could turn around and show you like some of the videos you've shown on all your shows, country, like the Gay Pride Parade in San Francisco, everything that happened in the Olympics. How about the Surgeon General of who we're paying for as taxpayers, who's a trans woman but was born a dude. That other guy, that nuclear guy, Sam Britton, bald head with a mustache and a goatee and puts on a dress and high heels. And you say we're weird?
yeah, we're the weird ones. We're the ones who
yeah, MAGA, weird train.
That's all they got.
Let's all join the weird
train. And we'll put weird train at the top. Perfect. See when we all come together, what thoughts and everything we have. I did want to post Big John's video. He was at the Atlanta Trump rally and he had an interview. I gotta pull it up. Hang on, give me a minute. And I'm not gonna format it. What I'll do is just show it. But I gotta download it first. Smart man. He had such good words, and he's trying to appeal to the younger generation, which needs to be appealed to, like I said earlier, because they're the ones that's going to lead our country in the future of our kids and the generations of the kids to come. Personally, that's what I think. My phone is acting awkward right now, y'all. Okay, put it in there. Now that'd be an awesome thing. Let's see, what are they saying? Awesome, ouch, I'm weird. That's all you got. Really good. Come back there. And each one of you can say whatever you want to within it. If you want to, you can stitch it, say whatever, or just duet it. Whatever you want to do with it. I mean, make it yours. Own that shit.
Yeah, if we do this weird thing, country, everybody in the comments, get on that weird train.
I think it is absolutely. If nobody else starts it, we definitely will do it. Hang on, let me put this in here. I thought I'd put it in the Telegram, but I guess I didn't. I put so many videos over there. It's loading. It's just got a little bit and then it'll be loaded. But that'd be perfect, guys. Good idea, Gravel. Be something we can all kind of get in the midst of. Look at the new robot. Could you imagine having that robot there? I couldn't. I just couldn't. I'd be kind of freaked out about it. Truthfully.
Yeah, I just wouldn't want it to kill me or anything.
What movie was that particular look of the robot from? It looks so familiar. There's a certain movie that it had where the line was across the front. Was it Terminator?
Terminator?
RoboCop.
Terminator?
The first RoboCop.
Oh, RoboCop. Yeah.
I think it was the first RoboCop. It's almost loading. I think it was the first RoboCop. You didn't like it. I think it's just weird. I mean, you want something like that? It's got AI in it. I mean, I saw something the other day where it said AI got pissed off, and then one thing said AI silenced and shut itself down because it got offended. Because it got offended. So weird.
Look,
Okay.
I'm from the A, okay? Been to A for a lot of stuff that built up. All my promoters is out there. Y'all know who I am. They call me John Boy. I started before 1079 started. C13 was there with Greg Street, everybody. Look, it's about the best leader in this country, okay? Right now, it's not about a color thing. We got to look at what these other countries are looking at. They're looking at, is the United States going to stay strong or they're going to be weak under leadership? We got to have experience. Trump had experience not only in the administration prior before, but also other businesses with different countries. They used to come to the casinos. They used to come to the hotels. These are different races that used to come. So all these people that want to say racism, this man uses his own money to have casinos, hotels. A lot of different cultures came in and also developed around those hotels and the casinos. Okay? So when people say racism, look at how he brought all that money that been stashed up in Congress when the COVID came out. Small businesses. I know a lot of small businesses that's in Atlanta right now, and they're doing good now, okay? I hope y'all don't betray Trump and say y'all don't know Trump because y'all saying she's a woman, she's a black woman. I love my black women. I love my black women all day. But right now, we got to have a leader that understands that right now, you got these other countries are looking at what our country doing. It's not just about this administration. It's not about prior administration. It's about history right now. And if we don't have a leader by the name of Trump that understands history and understands God, understand this. If we take God out of the picture, then you take love out of the picture, okay? You take love out of the picture, then you got hate in the picture, okay? You look at Trump interviews, he says God, and he prays God. He says all by God that bullet missed, okay? Understand this. It ain't the people that watch up there, the people that watch over here. It was God Almighty that protected Trump so he could be able to speak today right here in Atlanta, Georgia. And everybody here is representing Trump because we know what a good leader is about. It's not about a person that goes to come out there, a prosecutor, and saying, oh, I know how the law is. Guess what? If this country goes to war with another country, it don't matter about a law, okay? What it matters about casualty, and then all these places are shut down. Trump got peace with a lot of these different countries, these leaderships, and they respect him. They've been respecting him way before he was the president. So understand, when y'all take y'all vote and y'all don't educate yourself what Trump is about, take time, please, especially my young urban people that's out there. You know what I'm saying? My 21 Savage people, my Sexy Red people, my Gorilla Zoe people. Y'all take y'all time, man. Don't be listening, oh, well, it's a black and white thing. Take your time to learn about these leaders. It's very important because you don't want to see your neighbor dead because of war. Yeah, we will win the war. The United States will win the war, but we'll have a lot of casualties. We don't want to go to war. We want peace, man. And Trump got peace. Vladimir Putin respects Trump. That's why he said I would hear what Trump says, and I would take the time to hear what Trump says. Hey, I love everybody. I love this world. I love this country, especially America, for the people that died for this country. They died for this country. So before y'all go say, hey, Megan Stallion, she's shaking her booty on talking about I represent why I run. I love you, Megan Stallion, but you got to talk about what you stand for this country, the people that died for this country. And I salute all these people that died for this country. Amen. Amen.
Oh, I love that video. Thank you, Big John. Awesome. You guys go check his page out. He's got some good music coming out here soon. He is telling the truth, Miss Amy. He is telling the truth. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, guys, I think Grapple is checking on his son, and I think that's everything tonight, but I'll show you one last video.
It reminds me of the group Milli Vanilli. Y'all remember Milli Vanilli? You know, it was two guys. They were, you know, claimed to be R&B German artists, even though they had British accents, and they were born in Madrid or something like that. But sound a little bit like Kamala. But what was funny is you know, they fooled the country for about 4 years with their entertainment. They couldn't sing, they couldn't write, they had zero talent. But it took 4 years for everybody to figure out who they really were. Milli Vanilli is what we have in the White House right now.
They faked everything. If you guys remember that group, they lip synced and they faked the music and the song and blame it on the rain. Blame it on the rain. I mean,
Yeah,
live.
and everybody lip syncs now.
Yeah. Yeah. Put them out there. Man, I can sing some things. I was singing the chorus and stuff, but I ain't never going to be like, yeah, I'm a Taylor Swift. I'm all of this. Gravel, thank you for being on here tonight. I really appreciate it. It's been awesome. I love it.
Always, country. I appreciate you having me up on your show. Did Sanchez and Big John get everything worked out?
Oh yeah, they were fine. He understood, and he understood exactly where he was coming from, and he understood where he was coming from. He understood he was just passionate about what he believed in.
Yeah, and I the only reason I jumped in there, and this is on your TikTok live, I was like, hey, you guys are on. Realize you guys are, you know, that's the interesting thing about lives, is that you got to kind of sit there and listen for a bit before you jump in, especially if you're new or there's a new panelist or whatever. Like, hear what they have to say, and you know, then you can kind of feel it out, you know, if you will. And I'm glad they got everything worked out because they're both Trump supporters.
Right.
So I'm glad it all got worked out. And the only reason I jumped in was just say, hey, I think you guys are on the same. You guys are on the same side. You know,
it takes a minute sometimes. I almost forgot, you guys. We got some new merch coming out soon. Go get your Trump. I vote felon 2024.
Time to fight back, dawg, they won't like that. Everywhere is somewhere, and that's where the fight's at. I think time to fight back, dawg, they won't like.
I love that hat. You guys go to dacustoms.com, www.dacustoms.com, 781-389-8179. Custom-made leather products as well. Veteran-owned, veteran-operated. Right now, if you order and you put in shipping code, free shipping 40, all orders are free shipping at the time. So go check it out, guys. Again, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And everyone in the chat, thank you for sticking around with us. We'll see what this crazy day brings tomorrow, and I hope everybody stays safe. And don't get too
are you going live? Are you going live tonight?
Probably not, because I got to be up in a few hours. If I go live after I do the podcast, I went live before and I go live after. I know I would love to. I would love to. I am too tired the next day, and I got to be 100 because I have responsibilities. I know it sucks being adult. Adulting sucks.
I got you.
It really
I got you.
But this would be my passion that I would love to do, is just do stuff like this and videos and stuff, because we have to do this. It's something it's our due diligence. It's our duty to do this, to get the truth out there and let people understand, hey, this is what we're up against. This is what's going to happen if we don't change our ways. Period.
You got to keep talking. We got to keep talking.
Yeah. You do. I didn't feel good last night, and I felt bad. I was going to try to do it anyway, and I thought, well, I'm just going to sleep, get some rest, because when I don't feel well, I just sleep. That's what I do. Thank you so much, Mag. I appreciate it, you guys. We put some time into this, and we enjoy doing it. It truly is. It truly is something that we have to do. And Grandma, I will see you tomorrow before I go here. But as everyone else, you guys have a safe night. Safe Tuesday. Have a good day. And as always, Country Crazy out. If I get my video to play. All right. Bye.